and welcome to JoJo's Homemaker and Lifestyle. Well, today I'm going to be making a recipe out of the book that I did my ice cream out of. It was a request by Janice Hartley. She did write in the comments and requested that I made my mum's boiled fruitcake. So this one is going to be that recipe there. And it's a very nice, moist fruitcake. So I do hope you like it. And if you give it a go, please put in the comments below what you think to it. And also, if there is anything else you'd like me to make, let me know. I did read all the recipes I've got so far in the book in the ice cream vlog. So if you go back to the ice cream one and have a listen to the recipes that are in there, let me know what else you'd like me to make. Or if there's anything that you'd like me to make that you do, or that your grandparents or mother used to do, or whatever, let me know and I'll give it a go. So today I'm making my mum's boiled fruitcake. So we're going to start off by weighing the ingredients. And what you do weigh the fruit, the margarine, the spices and the sugar, and you boil them in here for 3 minutes. So I'm just going to weigh those out now so I can get boiling. Right, so I've got a mixed bag of fruit here, and it's actually 500 grams, so it's just a fraction over a pound. So I'm just going to put all of that in here. I'm not going to weigh that out because there'll only be a little bit left anyway. So I shall put all of this, I'm just going to put that in there in the saucepan. So it'll be nice and fruity. It's not a lot over, it's only a little bit. So that's that. Now I need to boil all the fruit, margarine, spice and sugar. So I'm going to weigh out the sugar, and I need 8 ounces of brown sugar. I think I've got enough here. So 8 ounces. Just under 8 ounces. I've got a little bit more here. There. So that's 8 ounces of brown sugar, so that can go in. Mixed spice. 1 teaspoon of mixed spice. So I'm just going to put that in now. That won't fit in there, so I shall do 2 halves. Half, so I shall do 2 of those. In fact, I might do 2.5 because I do like it nice and spicy. Not spicy, but you know what I mean. Now 4 ounces of marge. So I'll put this here. And I just need 4 ounces of that. There we go. That's 4 ounces of margarine. You could use butter, but there's no need. There's no need to use butter. Marge is absolutely fine. To be honest, I don't really think it would make that much difference in a fruitcake. So now the pineapple. Now you're supposed to use a tin of crushed pineapple. I haven't got any crushed pineapple. I've only got a tin of pineapple slices. So I'm going to drain the juice, pop the pineapple in here and give it a little mash with a fork. It's just juice, so I'm going to pour this into a cup. Into a glass, sorry. Ada'll enjoy that. That's it. That's better. So that's a nut to it. Oh, that's so nice. That'd be nice to make a drink with as well. Right, so I'm going to put all this pineapple in there. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slices there. So I'm just going to give that a little mash with a fork, I think. In fact, chop it up first, I think. You can buy crushed pineapple, but I have normally, but I've been struggling to get it. I don't know. Maybe it's just not very popular. People don't buy it, so it's not worth the shops getting it in anymore. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. It's fine if you just chop it up like this. So that is all chopped up, but so it's not exactly crushed, but I think that's enough. And I think it'll break down a little bit as well when it's boiling. So I'm going to pop that in there. It doesn't say what size tin. It just says a tin of crushed pineapple, but that's a standard tin of pineapple. So it's a 432 grams tin. But if you was to do it from fresh, you would want 272 grams of pineapple. Crushed or chopped very small. So that's that. So let's have a look. So it says boil all the fruit, the marge, spice and sugars for 3 minutes. So that's everything in here. So I'm going to pop that on the stove now and bring it to the boil and boil it for 3 minutes. So I've put the oven on, I've set the oven for 190 degrees Celsius. It will want an hour and a half in the oven once it's all done. And then after an hour and a half, you turn it down to 150 and give it another half an hour. Now I've just got to weigh out 8 ounces of self-raising flour, and then I'll need to add 2 eggs to that mixture as well once it's finished boiling. I will have to let it cool down, otherwise it will just scramble the eggs. And then add the flour and the eggs, give it a mix, and it'll be ready for the oven. So 8 ounces of flour. So just a little bit too much there. So there. So that's the flour, 2 eggs. So that's had 3 minutes, and I'm going to leave that now just to cool down. And while it's cooling down, the fruit, it will just absorb the moisture. It'll just get a little bit more, just softer and just a bit more plump. So we'll leave that there for now. I've got these little cake liners that I'm going to pop in into these like that. And it's as simple as that. They're ever so good. You can buy them on Amazon. You haven't got to be messing about trying to cut out the right shape and what have you. So that's that. So they're ready. If it only does one, then it only does one. I'll just put one away. But I'm doing those for now. Now, When it does say allow the fruit to cool, and when it's cool then you add the flour and the eggs, and that's when you can pop it in the tin. So for now we're just going to let it cool. There's not really a lot more I can do. About the ice cream, by the way, that I made, in my mum's recipe, she didn't put cream cheese in. And tasting it, it's absolutely beautiful and it's absolutely fine with the cream cheese in. But I have to be honest, it is nicer without. So if you do make it, I'm going to just show you the recipe here. Make it without the cream cheese, or even try both, see which you prefer. I personally, after trying it, I do prefer it without the cream cheese in. So that's the recipe without the cream cheese. That's for that lemon ice cream that I made in the last vlog. And I do prefer this just this way. I should have just stuck with it really. I was just wanting to use up the cream cheese, but I could have done that in another way. But anyway, it's still lovely and it really is nice. It's just not quite as smooth and creamy. So for now, I'm going to let this fruit cake called fruit cool down, and then I'll be back with you shortly. So the fruit has cooled down a little bit, enough to add the flour and the eggs. So it is still steaming, but just probably leave it for a couple of minutes. Actually, it is. When you stir it, it releases all the steam, so maybe I should keep stirring it every few minutes. But I shall break the eggs in here first, make sure they're all okay. Yeah, they're fine, lovely. So put them in there. When this is in the oven, because it needs so long in the oven, if it starts browning a little bit too soon, then if you put a little bit of baking parchment over the top, it will stop it from browning anymore. Also, don't have it too high up in the oven, have it sort of in the middle as well, and that will help prevent it burning as well. You don't want it on the bottom, otherwise it will probably do the bottom too much. It could burn the bottom of the cake, and if you have it too high, it could burn the top. If it's a fan assisted oven, which mine is, it doesn't really matter, although after saying that, if anything of mine is too far up the top, it does catch as well. So I always stick to the middle of the oven. You can't normally go wrong. So I'm going to add the flour. You don't need to sieve it. It's not necessary. So just give that a little stir. And the eggs. So that's all done and it's all in the tin. I've only put it in one tin. I could have split it between two tins actually and made two smaller cakes, but I think it would be nicer in the one tin. Normally I would have doubled the ingredients because having the oven on for that amount of time, you really want it to be worthwhile. You might as well do 2 or 3 cakes really. You could always freeze them and they do keep for quite a few weeks as well. So on this occasion, I've just done the one because I'd only got enough fruit for one. So I'm going to pop that in the oven now for an hour and a half. Keep my eye on it and then turn the oven down to 150 for another half an hour. So I'll be back with you in an hour and a half. So it's been an hour, it's been nearly 2 hours now. So I'm just about to get it out of the oven. I did have to cover mine over because it started going a little bit dark, so I'll just take it out now. So I covered it with a bit of baking paper and then I put a bit of tin foil over the top of that just to keep it on. Because it's a fan oven, it would have blown off, you see. So that's it so far. It looks lovely. So let's just stick this in. And that is done. It's coming out lovely and clean. So yeah, if it comes out clean like that, you know it's done. It's a bit like a sponge really. So let me show you, it looks lovely. So there you go. That is my mum's boiled fruit cake. There you go. And I'm really pleased with that, to be honest with you. I think it looks lovely. So I'm going to let that cool down. I've got a friend coming around this afternoon for a cup of tea and a chat. So we may try it then. So this is still slightly warm. So it might not cook as well as it will when it's completely cold. But we wanted to try a little bit while it was warm. So I'm going to take that off. And then that looks lovely. Look at that. So let's cook this. I'm going to give Ade the end bit. So that's that. There you go. Look at that. It looks beautiful. And I'm just going to try a little bit of this now and let you know what it's like. That's really nice. Really rich and fruity. And it will keep. And it's also nice when it's gone cold. You can have it if you want a few extra calories. It's also nice with a little bit of butter on. Also, quite traditionally in the UK, what they used to have on fruitcake is a little smidgen of butter and a slice of cheese. That is also really nice with fruitcake. And if you've never tried it, give it a go because it makes a really nice little snack or a little lunch even. So yeah, with a bit of butter on its own, a bit of butter and a cheese, either or, it's beautiful on its own or with something else. And with a cup of tea, what more could you ask for? It really is lovely. If you do give it a go, please let me know in the comments below how you got on and what you thought to it. And as I say, let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see in my future vlogs. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. So thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to go give Ade his cake now, see if he likes it. Thanks so much for joining me. See you next week. Bye.